What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Sports Degenerate Podcast. Today we got another waiver wire episode for Week 8. For the people that are new, I post a separate episode for each position. So whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast, check out my feed. There will be a separate episode for quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. Let's hop into it. I have 4 running backs for you guys. All of these players are 33% rostered or less, so they should be pretty available. I'm not going to lie, there isn't much talent on the waiver wire this week, so I'm going to give you the ones that I think can help you win, but it isn't the best. This is probably one of the worst waiver wire weeks for running backs, but my number 1 waiver wire pickup for Week 8 is Braylon Allen. So he is the backup to Breece Hall. So he already has upside to be a great starting running back for your team if Hall gets hurt. But just for Week 8, the Jets play the Patriots, who allow over 120 rushing yards per game to running backs. They just let the Jaguars last week go for over 100 yards against them. The Jets played the Patriots in Week 2, and in that game, Braylon Allen had almost 10 points. He had over 10 carries, had a couple catches, had a good game. So if you are desperate, Allen has a great matchup, and maybe he falls in the end zone. I really do expect the Jets to run all over the Patriots because the Jets need to start winning, and the passing game has just not been it for the Jets. So I think Allen gets around 10 to 15 carries. It's a great matchup. So if you are desperate, I think he is your best option. Number 2 is Justice Hill. He's been on this waiver wire list every single week this season, and I continue to tell you guys to pick him up. If you are desperate for a running back, he always has upside because he is the passing downs back on an elite offense in the Ravens. On Monday night versus the Bucs, he had 13 points. He isn't going to be consistently good. He is going to have some off games, but he has more upside than almost any other waiver wire running back. The only reason I'm not a huge fan of him this week is because the Ravens play the Browns, so I don't think the Ravens will have to pass a lot. I usually like to target Hill in games where I think the Ravens are going to pass a decent amount. But like I said, he can catch 1 or 2 passes and bring it for 60 yards because this offense is so explosive. So he's not a terrible option. He has good upside. Number 3 is Tyler Goodson. So he is a running back for the Colts. So this one is only valid if Jonathan Taylor continues to be out. You have to monitor the injury reports. But if Taylor is out, I think Goodson is the best running back on the Colts. He's outperformed Trey Sermon 2 weeks in a row. He has 10 or more points in 2 straight weeks. So if he continues to get the work, I think he can be a solid running back in your lineup. Number 4 is Ray Davis. So this one is only if you are really desperate because he is in a 3 running back backfield with the Bills. The lead back is James Cook, and then there's the other 2, Ray Davis and Ty Johnson. So they really do split carries between all 3 running backs at the moment. But Ray Davis did have 41 yards and a touchdown in Week 7. He also has flashed 2 games in a row. So maybe he continues to get more work. It's never a bad thing to have a piece of this good Bills offense. Maybe it becomes just James Cook and Ray Davis. Then I like this a little bit more. But from what we've seen so far, it's a 3 running back backfield. But Davis is explosive. You might get lucky and get a touchdown out of him in Week 8. I also want to bring up some streaming defenses for you guys. I have 3 options, all of them 33% rostered or less, so they should be pretty available. All of these options I really like, actually. We have some good options this week. Number 1 is the Chiefs. The Chiefs have only allowed a team over 20 points once this year, and the Chiefs have been elite on film as well. Their run defense is top 5 in the league, and we know the Chiefs are always good at bringing pressure with Spagnuolo as the defensive coordinator. This week, they play the Raiders, which is a great matchup. I love the Chiefs this week. Number 2 is the Packers. I said this last week. We have to start considering the Packers as an elite defense. They have forced at least 1 turnover in every single game this year. Some games, multiple turnovers. And they just held the Texans to 21 points. This week, they play the Jaguars, which is a great matchup. And number 3 is the Chargers. The Chargers have been the best defense in the NFL when it comes to points allowed. They haven't even allowed a team to score 20 points all year. This week, they played the Saints with a rookie quarterback in Spencer Rattler. The Chargers defense is about to feast. The only reason I have them third is just because they played on Monday night, so they have less rests than the Saints, so they're going to be more tired, so maybe tired legs, but I still like them because the matchup is so good. So those are 3 streaming defenses for you guys. Like I said, I have a separate waiver wire episode for each position, so go check all of them out. Like always, if you have any questions about fantasy, either comment on the podcast, comment on YouTube, or DM me on social media. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I love all of you.